Hello and welcome! Today we are in the Tier 9 Swedish destroyer, the Östergötland. She's still a work in progress and thus subject to change. She was given to me by Wargaming for review purposes. We start out the match by goading the enemy CV into attacking us, and then utilizing our incredible anti-air to essentially remove their planes from existence. Which is exactly what I wanted. Sure, I did take a whole bunch of damage, but this is simply boosting my adrenaline rush so that I can launch more torpedoes. In fact, this video is about the torpedoes. You see, we have a new king, or I suppose queen, in the torpedo speed department. You see, the latest patch added the new upgrade, which gives 5% speed to the torpedoes. Which means that the 86 knot torpedoes base on the Östergötland got even faster. Now we have 95 knot torpedoes. Yes, you heard that right, 95 knots. That's 176 kilometers an hour, or 109 miles an hour if you don't know real units. These are fast torpedoes. They're really fast torpedoes, and they actually have the same concealment as the F3s, which means that they're actually pretty... Okay, they're not actually that stealthy. They're simply just really fast, and that makes it kind of difficult to avoid them. On that note though, they don't deal that much damage. They have around 10k alpha damage or so, which makes them not very good at actually hurting ships, but they're still torpedoes and people still hate getting hit by torpedoes. The enemy CV seems to still be falling into my trap of trying to attack my destroyer, and obviously it's really not working out. I'm trying to make the Lexington want to attack me again over and over so that they keep losing the planes, because look, there are two other destroyers on my team and neither of them have anti-air that are anywhere comparable to what I have, which makes it ideal if the CV keeps attacking me. Unfortunately, she decides not to do that, and our Jutland paid the price for it. Anyway, I managed to land a torpedo on the Soyuz that was trying to be cheeky and peek out behind the island, and got a torpedo in the face for that. Sadly, it doesn't deal that much damage, but hey, damage is damage. And we have taken the A-cap here. Now I'm gonna push forward because it seems that they only have a Colorado and the Soyuz over here, which just is not enough. So I'm going to torpedo here and start heading towards, I suppose, the B-cap to meet the two miseries and whatever else that comes from that direction. And while I'm at it, I'm going to leave a little present for this Colorado and Soyuz, because, hey, I do have 12-kilometer range on these torpedoes. By the way, in 0.9, the Östergötland actually got nerfed. She went from 2-second reload to 2.3-second reload on the guns, and a 90-second torpedo reload to 100 seconds. Oh no, plus 10-second torpedo reload. Whatever will I do? Considering that the torpedo speed was literally buffed due to the upgrade, I would actually consider the ship to be stronger this patch than the previous patch, but hey, you know, Wargaming, you do you. Anyway, let's torpedo the Colorado and then move on. So, I'm gonna try to position myself in a way where I am able to torpedo the ships pushing from, I guess, the C-cap. You see, it's easier to defend than attack, and torpedoing is one of those things, and oh my god. Hello, Sovietsky Soyuz, how are you doing? It seems that the Swedish Empire has been victorious today. Nice 4 torpedo hits. That's literally all 4 of them. Consider that I launched them at like... The ship that got hit is a good 10 kilometers away, and all 4 of them hit. That's quite unusual. But you know, that's kind of what the Swedish destroyers are. They don't have a smokescreen, they have a speed boost, this one at least has defensive fire, a heal, and superbly fast torpedoes. Like, this is This is on the level of stupidity already in terms of speed, and if I'm completely honest, well, okay, no, not completely honest. Actually, this is a meme build, okay? Or, I suppose, a better way of putting it, this is a meme build, because you really should not take torpedo acceleration on this captain, or this ship. Because going from 90 knot torpedo speed to 95 knot torpedo speed is basically, it's the same thing. Your torpedoes change speed by less than 5%. And for that you're using up 2 entire captain skill points, which kinda screws up your build. And it also takes away 3 kilometer range from those torpedoes. You might not care about it when the ships are moving towards you, but hey, if the ships are sailing away, like let's say that Misery over there is reversing at 13 kilometers, not the one in the middle, the one on the side, well, I can't torpedo that right now, for whatever reason if I had to, but if I didn't have torpedo acceleration, I could. And like I mentioned, the 5 knot difference is tiny. Torpedo acceleration is much stronger on something, say, the Black, where the base torpedo speed is very low. Whereas on the Östergötland, where the base torpedo speed is very fast, that additional 5 knots is a lot less of an advantage. I mean, consider that. It's 5 knots out of 90 knots, right? That's a 5% difference, but if your torpedo speed is like 50 knots, that's a 10% increase from torpedo acceleration. But mostly it's just that you can use the 2 captain skill points for something better, such as, I don't know, jack of all trades. Consider that this captain, or the European destroyer line, is already going to be suffering from needing extra captain points, because you probably want to take Superintendent because you have a heal. Which means that you need to scour up 3 points from somewhere, compared to a usual destroyer build. Anyway, as you can see, I mean, we've hit 9 torpedoes so far, and it's not like we landed some one incredibly lucky salvo of torpedoes, no. These are torpedoes that hit a variety of targets, launched, you know, at various times. Because these torpedoes are simply so fast that it's entirely possible to actually land them when you're, you know, expecting torpedo hits. Sure, you'll still get outplayed sometimes, and it's possible that the target simply turns or you predict wrong. Stuff like that can absolutely happen. However, these are probably the best torpedoes ever to actually learn how to use torpedoes, in the sense that you'll actually have a lot of success with them. On the other hand, they're probably the worst torpedoes to learn how to use torpedoes with, because these are also the ones you need to think of what the enemy is going to do the least, because they're the fastest torps. Hey, we hit another 3 torpedoes on this Missouri. Sure, it's only 21k damage. I mean, if you land a Shimakaze torpedo on the bow of a Missouri, 1 torpedo will deal the same damage that these 3 did, right? However, those are Shimakaze torpedoes. That's the ship that doesn't quite bring all the other stuff to the table that the Pan-European destroyers do. Or, I guess, the Swedish destroyers, because the Błyskawica is quite different from these. And, Wargaming, when are you gonna buff the Błyskawica? She really hasn't gotten anything ever since well, I guess she has been buffed ever so slightly ever since the stealth firing was removed, but nothing to make up for the removal of stealth fire. Anyway, this Missouri is pretty much dead. Maybe we'll get a fire to try to finish her off, because she does seem to be avoiding that torpedo. Oh yeah, we did get a fire, so goodbye, Misery. She did radar, but that doesn't really do anything. So, now it's time to, I guess, wrap up. I mean, we did actually lose our CV this match, but I don't think we're gonna lose the game because of that. The Saipan was caught out, however, I mean, they only have a Missouri, a Cleveland, a Shores, and whatever CV they have, a Lexington. I could try to torpedo this Cleveland, which is what I'm probably going to do, but it's probably a better idea to try to torp the Missouri. Because the Missouri is much less likely to do random maneuvers that simply avoid my torpedoes. Since I'm spotted anyway due to the Cleveland's radar, I'm gonna just shell her. I expect the Cleveland to turn in, but not start turning away. You see, the reason I expected her to turn in is because of where my Georgia is. Right, I expected her to point her nose essentially towards the Georgia to minimize her profile against her, so that she doesn't get dev-struck by the Georgia. But it seems that the Cleveland didn't really care about her HP, because she decided to show broadside to the Georgia instead. Sure, that avoids my torpedoes, but the side effect is that she just lost like 25k HP to that Georgia salvo, so I guess she's kinda dead anyway. If I had slightly more gun range, I only have 10.2 kilometer gun range, I would actually open up, but this is on the edge of my gun range. This is something the Holland, I think, does better. The Holland is the Tech Tree Tier 10 Swedish destroyer. The Östergötland is Tier 9. I believe she should be the Tech Tree ship as well. I guess you can tell. Actually, no, we can easily tell that she is the Tech Tree ship because I'm not using a perma camo. Oh, Lexington flew planes into my anti-air again. Thank you. Please feed me more planes. Wouldn't it be interesting if there was like a destroyer that became stronger the more planes it shot down? I believe in the current matchmaking that DD would be very happy. Anyway, now it's time to show the Lexington what karma is. That is, she's playing a CV and has been harassing lots and lots of destroyers. So now, karma means that she's gonna be sunk by a destroyer. And there's nothing she can do about it. Ooh, more planes. Delicious, delicious planes. Should probably open up on the Missouri. Come on, turrets, turn. Aw, Missouri was taken out by the Helena. Or Helena? I don't actually know how it's pronounced in English. Oh, a Shores! Almost in range. Let's open up on her. Wait, did she? Oh my god, she's gonna die as well, isn't she? Come on, 2 little shells. You can do it. I believe in you. Or, I guess not. But there's more delicious planes. The CV really likes to feed me planes. By the way, the Georgia is actually a faster ship than the Östergötland. I believe with speed boost, Georgia should be able to outrun this destroyer. The Östergötland does not quite have the 30% speed boost like the Småland does. She only has the standard 8%. Anyway, we can utilize our guns because, sure, she might only have 4 guns, and they might have been nerfed to 2.3 second reload, but we're still talking about a 2.3 second reload. You can put out quite many shells. Sure, the alpha damage on any of these is pretty low, but hey, this adds up. Look, 500 damage, 500 damage, 1100, 200, 200, 500, 200, 500, 500, 200, 200, 500. I mean, that is damage that adds up, and we managed to eventually sink her. Which is exactly what we wanted. Because this was revenge for attacking us earlier and all the other destroyers. So, 120k damage. Sure, not the greatest, but we managed to still land 12 torpedo hits. We shot down 17 planes. I mean, we did sink 2 ships, we kept the base, 1957 base XP. I'm gonna compliment these guys, especially the Shiratsu and the Georgia. They, I think, played well, and the Lexington as well, especially for good manners, for actually feeding me all of those planes. That was very nice of her. And here's the torpedo damage. 13 torpedo hits, they only did 87k damage, but still, I mean, does it really matter whether the torpedo does 10k damage or 15k damage when you're the one being hit by the torpedoes? No, it'll still feel terrible to be hit by torpedoes. And that's essentially what the ship takes a lot of advantage of. So, let's take a look at the port. The glorious, glorious port. And hey, look, my karma was increased. See, apparently you can be complimented for doing decently in a game. First of all, the upgrades. It's pretty standard destroyer. So torpedo reload, concealment, rudder shift. And then In the next slot, we have the new upgrade that increases torpedo speed by 5%. It also makes torpedo tubes break less often, and it increases their traverse speed, but the main thing is the torpedo speed. And as you can see, 95 knot torpedoes on the side. Priority target are the skills Last Stand, Superintendent, Concealment Expert, then Torpedo Armament Expertise, Torpedo Acceleration because of the meme, and Adrenaline Rush, and then last 2 points Expert Marksman. But then I realized that, hey, I don't actually have Superintendent, which makes this build terrible. So what I actually have ended up doing later on is I dropped the Expert Marksman and Adrenaline Rush and took Superintendent, while still playing the meme build. If you don't want to actually play as a meme, what you should do is you should drop Torpedo Acceleration and Expert Marksman. So you keep Adrenaline Rush and then you take Superintendent. And the last 1 point you probably use for something like preventative maintenance. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Quellhoth, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.